From a scientific point of view, love is not one thing. It breaks down into different phases, and the first phase is usually short-lived and of high intensity. We call this phase infatuation. Last week we discussed emotions in general. Today we're going to talk about this, which is one of the most interesting emotions in human life: infatuation. From the brain's point of view, it resembles a kind of temporary dementia, whose characteristics are stress, obsession, and compulsion. And love is probably the feeling that has most inspired human thought throughout the ages. All the great mythologies like the Norse and Greek mythologies, all major religions like Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, all of them discussed the matter of love in depth. In philosophy, Plato was the first to write a great treatise about love. The book, called the Symposium, is one of the most beautiful books in the history of philosophy. After that, almost all the great philosophers have leaned over the issue of love. Aristotle, Epicurus, Schopenhauer, Nietzsche, just to mention a few. In the arts, the omnipresence of love is indisputable. Just think, for example, of Shakespeare, or of contemporary cinema, where even in movies about dinosaurs and robots, they find a way to cram in some romance. But far from being something metaphysical, something outside the body, love is a result of changes in brain function, and usually it breaks down into a few very specific phases. The first phase is called passion, and it is typically very intense and short-lived. But what happens then inside your brain when you're in love? What happens inside your body when you're in love? Like with any emotion, passion is regulated by what we call endocrine factors. That is, it will be regulated by the action of hormones and neurotransmitters, which are chemicals that have an overall effect on the body, and more specifically on the brain.